What's going on, guys? It's your boy and the Matrix. I'm back with another video, and I'm about to hurt somebody's feelings with this video. So I'm gonna give you the solution to the declining birth rate that nobody wants to talk about, nobody wants to hear, everybody keeps ignoring. People want to pretend like there is no solution that that we should just adapt to it. But there is a solution, and the solution is actually very simple. But I guess it's only a matter of whether or not people want to, what if whether or not people want to, focus on themselves or focus on building a better future, right? Because this life of just focusing on yourself and just like being this single selfish person that just you just serve yourself and that's it. I mean, that's in the long run, that's really not gonna have an impact on society. So how do we solve the declining birth rate? So the first thing we gotta talk about is how we got here, right? Because one of the first countries that reported the declining birth rate and the population going down, and the Japanese disappearing in the next 50 years or so is Japan. They were the first people that reported a declining birth rate and having trouble with their population. And then it was Korea, and then it was Italy, and now China is having the same problem, and then Russia, right? And so they're not having enough kids. They're not having enough kids, right? And obviously this has to do for many this there's many reasons for this. There's many reasons because first it was the cost of living, right? It was the cost of living, but and there's people that can definitely afford the cost of living in Japan, but they just don't want to, right? They just don't want to. They want to live for themselves. They want to just, you know, they want to live for themselves, really, not have any children, not start a family, just kind of like live like a hedonistic lifestyle. And hey, you do you, is your life, okay, whatever. But another reason why how we got here is because of feminism. This is somebody that nobody wants to admit, nobody wants to talk about, because when you convince a generation of girls that men are evil and that you should go for like the top 5% of men that make a six-figure income or millions of dollars, then when you brainwash a generation of women to think that way, then they're not even going to give the average man a chance. They're not going to give the average man a chance, and that's true. That's pretty much how it's going to be, right? And also I want to just mention a little bit, because back in the day, in the 1950s, right, in the 1900s, early 1900s, we didn't have an issue with this because everybody was playing their part. Okay, men went to work and women stayed at home and took care of the kids, right? Women stayed at home, took care of the kids, and while the men went to work and brought home the bread. They brought home the honey, the bread, everything that the wife needs, right? um and the truth is that if we want our populations to survive around the world, that's exactly what we need. You see, women need to stop working. Women need to stop working in order for the population to increase once again. Because who are the ones that give birth? Is women. Okay, men, we're just the farmers. Men are the farmers. Men plant the seed, and then they watch it grow from the ground. Women, there's a reason why it's called Mother Earth. Women, okay, women, they are like the earth. You plant a seed in the ground and then it grows into a tree. The tree gives you many fruits, right? So only women can have children. Only women can give fruit. That's it. So for the population to increase in Japan, in Tokyo, in Korea, Italy, China, women have to stop working. Women have to stop working. Okay? And I know that marriage is not for everybody, but how else are we going to solve this problem? Because if women are too busy, living their own lives, just not caring about anything, not caring about children, not caring about starting families, not caring about anything, except, I don't know, like living for themselves. Um, and by the way, I know that, like I said, not marriage is not for everybody, so not every woman is going to have children. But there's way too many females. Um, there are way too many females that are not interested in having children, especially in Japan. Especially in Japan, and their standards are way, way, way too high. Their standards are: I want a guy that makes a six-figure income, $100,000 or $1 million, and only about less than 5% of men actually make that. So, ladies, either you share one man that can get you pregnant, seven women to one man, Isaiah chapter 4, or you're gonna have to date somebody that is at your level. Because why would a millionaire wanna marry you or get you pregnant if you're gonna be a liability in his life? Okay, that's what you don't think about. So yeah, women have to stop working. That's number one. Women have to stop working. They are the only ones that can give birth. The one source of income, the one source of income that can work for women, especially if you are a mother, is self-employment, right? Having your own little small business. So that is the type of work that, especially biblically, that is the type of work that women can do. Because I mean, think about it. If you work for a company or a corporation, you're working for somebody. You're working for a CEO. So that is your man. You're making this CEO rich, right? But let's say if you have a husband and you have three kids, you can start your own little mini business. I don't know, selling vegetables, selling something. I don't know, selling some things from home. While your man goes out into the world and makes the money, right? So this is this is so much better. This is the only way that we can solve the population crisis. Because if we don't do something quickly, then we're gonna go extinct, right? And if women continue to decide that they don't want to have children, then humanity is gonna go extinct, and then we can happily blame it on females around the world for allowing humanity to go extinct. It's gonna be in the history books. The reason why humanity, went extinct is because women became selfish and they didn't want to have children. Okay, cool, right? So this is what's gonna happen. This is what's gonna happen because if this continues, right? If the population decline continues in many countries, what's going to happen is all these governments, whether it's the Japanese government, Korea, Italy, all these governments around the world, what they're going to do is that they are going to start forcing women to have children. Yes, forcing women to have children. I am warning you. This is a warning. Okay? This is a warning. You guys think that this might be a joke? You guys think that this is a joke? No, 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 no. Eventually, the government is going to force you to have children, right? If you refuse to have any of your own. That's exactly what's going to happen. It will happen. So if women continue to decide that they don't want to have children, then this is exactly what's going to happen. I mean, it's already starting in America somewhat. We can already see it in America where Trump is taking away benefits from women, right? Trump is taking away benefits from women, and the next thing that's going to happen is they're going to start forcing women to have children. So the season of selfishness is coming to an end. The season of selfishness is coming to an end, right? So, I mean, I have to be the jerk that tells you. I have to be the jerk that delivers the bad news. But I mean, if I don't tell you, then who will? If I don't tell you the truth, who will? So again, if women continue to choose to not have children, the government's gonna come and force them to have children. Okay, and I'm not talking about R word, like the R word, RAPE. I'm not talking about that. They're gonna change the laws. They're gonna change the system. They're gonna change many things in our society. Many things in our society to convince women to convince women, or for women to start having kids, right? So they're going to change the system for women to start having kids. You'll see. You'll see. A lot of you are probably laughing right now, but give it another 5 years, right? Give it another 5 years, and you'll see how dystopian this gets. Anyways, that's gonna be it for this video. Whatever your thoughts are, make sure to comment below, like this video, subscribe to the channel, hit the notification. Everybody's your boy, Andy Matrix. Godspeed.